one question and a follow-up, okay?
Big Nancy Guthrie update. They're live right now. Let's watch.
I want to begin by offering our condolences to our partners at the state. Department of Public Safety's tragically lost 2 members last night in a helicopter crash up in northern Arizona. So if you would keep them in your prayers. We do have a number of leads coming. Glover and his team, I'm sure, would greatly appreciate it. To get as many, if not all of you, along the same lines, 2 members last night in a helicopter crash up in. Along the same lines, I think you all saw last night. I'm trying to speak up, not yell. Apparently, I talk soft. Family, you know, they just hurt, understandably so. And so I really want you to know this entire team here, those behind me, and our community are hurting with you. We really just want Mom back, okay? Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do. But I have other partners out there who have stepped up, and you've probably noticed them in the last few days, if not the last few hours, and you're going to see more of that. Well, I've made a decision to contact our PCRIT team, and those of you not local, that's our Pima Regional Critical Incident Team. It's made up of law enforcement officers from this entire valley. Pasquayaki Police Department, Tucson Police Department, Marana Police Department, Oro Valley Police Department, Pima College Police Department, Tucson International Police Department, Sarita Police Department. There's so many of them, and they are going to help us tremendously. And that's really done because we have so much in front of us still, and we're hoping that, you know, I know the FBI has committed a very large number of men and women to partner with us, work side by side with us. We go do an interview, they're going to be there with us. We're going to go look at some evidence or process evidence, they're going to be right there with us. We're sharing every piece of information, all the data we can to get this thing solved. And it's important that my partners in law enforcement know and understand their roles, because it is a very large, complex investigation with a lot of moving parts. And we're at that phase now where sometimes we're waiting, right? We're waiting for analysis. We're waiting for lab reports. But even then, when they come back quickly, for example, some DNA, we rushed what we thought was the best target for DNA. We did a rush through and got some of that back. The results were minimal. I think you all know of the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy.
Yeah.
That's what we know. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our haunches waiting. We do have a number of leads coming in, and that's why we brought in the FBI for one, but PCRIT as well, to be able to get out there and handle these leads as they come in as quickly and as expeditiously as we can. And every single lead is looked at, every one of them. And so we're gearing up. You probably have some questions about what you've seen in the last couple of days. I'll gladly answer those at that time. But it really is about getting our partners out there. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night, it was just us. Since then, the FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well? And that's what you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, but this entire community, all of our law enforcement partners. Suspects. I know there's been a lot out there about suspects, and I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet.
Ooh.
The timeline, I think we've got it on the board, do we not? This is a timeline that we have been able to develop with some of the things that we've had processed. Various pieces of electronics that we've gathered. And you look at some of this, and I know you're going to say, well, why did it take you so long to get this to us, Sheriff? Well, because one thing, it's got to go out and be processed at different lab sites. And sometimes that stuff comes back to us, and like you, we have questions. And we say, wait a minute, what is this about? What about this? Could it be that? And so it's sent back, or it's sent somewhere else. So, and that's happening with all of the things we see, that process, that review, and that questioning of, all right, what is it we're looking at? So I'll go over it with you. You can see it on the board there, but at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes, because that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but that's what it says. So
What?
the person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video. But we're not giving up on that. 2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy, discovers her missing, and at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I believe it's about approximately 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, our patrol teams arrive. They see the scene, and we start our response with our search and rescue teams and our detectives from homicide and various units. In fact, every unit here, I think somebody questioned, how come there's an ICAC member out here, or this member? Everybody in our criminal investigations team is a part of this team and part of this investigative effort. I think with that, let me make sure. I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed, we know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming.
You know where it came from.
The car that was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there and do our scene processing with the vehicle. That was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court order processing. Family residents, the daughter for dinner. And we located that driver and spoke with them and got that information. The house, you guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it and examine things themselves, and more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things and go, hey, what about this? So we want to go back and check on some things. Oh, here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from.
Didn't you
We've been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all. Whether it's forced entry or not forced entry, that is something we're just not discussing. So I don't know where anybody got that information. I think I am about done with my piece of this. I'm going to bring up here Heath Yankee, and I think you know him if you haven't been here. John Edwards is the assistant agent in charge with the FBI here at the Tucson office. Heath Yankee is the special agent in charge for the state of Arizona out of Phoenix, and he will come up and speak.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hello, I'm Heath Yankee, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Phoenix Division. First, I want to let the Guthrie family know that our hearts are heavy for them. After seeing your message last night, it is clear that you and your family are in pain. Please know that we are doing everything to bring your mother home. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance, and this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. The FBI has agents, analysts, and professional staff employees working day and night with our partners at the Sheriff's Department. We have deployed additional intelligence and agents from our Phoenix office. We have brought in our critical incident response group from Quantico, Virginia. Members from our cellular analysis survey team are here, and they continue to collect and process digital information. We are actively reviewing and analyzing information from all digital sources, which includes banks, social media companies, phone companies, and any other organizations where a digital footprint could have been captured. All this information provides data points and helps put the picture together. And we will be in the community continuing to conduct a thorough investigation with our partners. You heard about us out there last night. We will be back out there today. I would ask the media, give our investigators the space to do their jobs while they're out there. Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets. As with every lead, we are taking it seriously. We are in communication with the family, and while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. Thank you to those in the community that have called in tips. For anyone out there that may have information, no matter how small you think it may be, please report it. You can do so by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. My next message is to those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation. We will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions. We have made one arrest related to an imposter ransom demand, and a complaint will be presented to a magistrate judge later today. You will get more on that from the FBI and our U.S. Attorney's Office here in Arizona when it becomes available. To anyone that may be involved, do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma. This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a much worse scenario for you. Please return Nancy home. Thank you.
Alright, so you want to call me or
You can call him up.
Okay, so the first person we're going to start with the list is going to be NBC National, Liz Bright. Right here.
Can you walk us through that timeline from when you believe, if you look at this here, from 147 to 228, what you think happened there, and what particular software would have detected somebody on camera?
Yeah, I don't. I know we know the software that was there. But I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the weeds. I know that. Think of your doorbell cameras. somebody walks up, my wife's, if I walk up, she gets an alert, and it's usually something like that. A person's detected.
So to understand and follow up, one, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that this suspect or suspects would have been on the property? And then also, does this essentially mean that you've cooperated with the tech companies and you can officially say that no surveillance video is available from the home?
We know that the tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
And was that about 45
Next
minutes?
person's going to be ABC News, Aaron Kaczynski.
Yeah. I'm sorry, was what 45 minutes?
Can we say it's about a 45-minute span that somebody would have been on the property then, from 147 to 228?
Yeah, I think those times speak for themselves, and it is about, like I say, those are approximates, so yes. I'm sorry, who was next, did you say?
Aaron Kaczynski, ABC News.
Hi, Sheriff. Thanks very much. Is there information that you are purposefully withholding because of the active investigation that might be leading you in a particular direction?
You know, this is no different than any criminal investigation that we conduct here. Law enforcement has conducted investigations since 1865 here in Pima County. We're always mindful of what it is that's in front of us and what we should release and can release. There's legal guidelines that guide us, but there's also strategy too. So, you know, I'll leave that for you to determine.
Now that you are having such an injection of manpower from the Pima Critical Incident Team and the FBI, slow to bring that in at the outset, should all of these resources been brought to bear sooner?
I guess that, you know, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the time, so you have the opportunity to do it for me.
I said
I'll
this.
take that hit.
I'm going to explain about it.
CBS News, Jonathan Migliotti.
Sheriff, over here, has there been any proof of life, and has there been any sign of life?
I'm going to, anything to deal with the ransom notes and that, I would defer to the FBI, but no, to my knowledge, we're still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I can speak with the special agent, what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on, you first haven't been able to validate, and second, it warranted informing the Guthries of its existence?
So the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not
Given
everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for. So at that point,
what were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics. It's very important that we keep this investigation moving forward, and we don't want to put more facts out there that others then can use to try to profit from this.
Who else would know about an Apple
Next,
Watch?
Ed Lavandera.
Hey, Agent, I want to follow up with you real quick on that. There have been, as far as we know, I think 3 ransom notes so far, 1 arrest. Are they all different? Do you think there's different authors behind all of them, or?
So the one that went to the media is the one we were currently investigating and working on. The imposter that I talked about, where an arrest was made early this morning, that there will be more information. We believe there's no evidence to connect this to Nancy's case. It was someone that was trying to profit from it, a total imposter.
And Sheriff, you started off the press conference by saying you believe that Nancy is still out there. Do you have reason to believe that she's still out there alive, or are you fearful of the worst case scenario here, that she won't be found alive?
Well, I'm certainly fearful of that. I think we all are. But it is we operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue thinking that way until we find her.
Fox Digital, Mike Reese.
Yeah, sir. Mike Orwell from Fox Digital. Sheriff, you said you've identified no suspects. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't. But no, I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
So my follow-up, you mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a forced entry came from. Do we know how that whoever did this got into her house?
That I would not discuss with you anyway.
Fox News, Paul Morrow.
Question for Agent Edwards, if I may. Agent Edwards, will the Bureau be submitting the DNA for investigative genealogical investigation relative to maybe hitting a relative, somebody you will?
I would say the DNA aspect of this case is being handled by the Pima County Sheriff's Department right now. However, should we get to that point, yes, that would be an option for the FBI to assist.
And a quick follow-up, does the ransom note that you're working establish any communication protocols in it?
No, it does not. And that is what I think is important, that if someone has Nancy and is demanding the ransom, that there is communication with the family. We talked about has been no proof of life, and there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
ABC affiliate, Ashley Holden.
Right here, Ashley Holden. When you say the doorbell camera was disconnected, do you believe that that camera was taken?
We do not have it in our possession. We've not located it.
And then a follow-up. I know that we've been hearing a lot about ransom notes. We were also hearing in that video that was put out by the Guthrie siblings, and I don't know if this is a question for the FBI or yourself, but the challenges of seeing an image and knowing that it's real. Could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not.
What the hell happened?
It's real. Could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not.
What the heck happened? Oh my gosh.
And it had faxes.
That we, since 1860.
Damn, News Nation, you suck.
We.
Sorry, I'm frustrated. Apologies.
I guess that it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the
Understand them involved. One, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that the suspect or suspects were
with the ransom notes and that. I would defer to the FBI. But
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
we're
Hold on.
still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I can speak with the special agent, what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on you first haven't been able to validate, and second, it warranted informing the Guthries of its existence?
So the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not
Given
everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for. So at that point,
What were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics.
Okay, I saw. I showed this part already, so I'm gonna fast forward.
And then later I learned something else. No.
So my follow-up, you mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a forced entry came from. Do we know how whoever did this got into her house?
That I would not discuss with you anyway.
Fox News, Paul Morrow.
Question for Agent Edwards, if I may. Agent Edwards, will the Bureau be submitting the DNA for investigative genealogical?
The Pima County Sheriff's Department right now.
I'm gonna.
However,
I'm
should we get to
getting
that
to the point where
yes, that would
it
be
broke
an option
off.
for the FBI to assist.
So Pima County is handling the DNA
Note that you'll
sampling.
establish any communication protocols in it.
Mustang, what are you
No, it
talking
does
about?
not. And that is what I think is important, that if someone has Nancy and is demanding the ransom, that there is communication with the family. We talked about has been no proof of life, and there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
ABC affiliate, Ashley Holden.
right here, Ashley Holden? When you say the doorbell camera was disconnected, do you believe that that camera was
We do not have it in our possession. We've not located it.
And then a follow-up. I know that we've been hearing a lot about ransom notes. We were also hearing in that video that was put out by the Guthrie siblings, and I don't know if this is a question for the FBI or yourself, but the challenges of seeing an image and knowing that it's real. Could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not going to go into facts regarding this part of the investigation. I think part of that message was with AI these days, you can make videos that appear to be very real. So we can't just take a video and trust that that is a proof of life these days because of the advancements in AI and trying to actually get a proof of life that we can verify. But we're not going to go into anything the family may or may not have received.
Okay, well, Dr. Patterson?
So, in regards to a timeline on that ransom note, is that being an impact in your investigation? Are we nearing that timeline?
I'm sorry, one more time.
So, in regards to the timeline in the ransom note, are we nearing that timeline? And is that playing a part in the investigation?
We're not going to go again into specifics of that part of the investigation with the ransom note, other than what we've put out there. We've been transparent. We're talking about we are working that ransom demand, but we don't want to go anything further than that could impact any opportunities. So thank you.
Is there any additional physical evidence at the crime scene other than the technology that you guys are using for this timeline? Is there anything else that's helping you guys other than really the technology?
Well, I think I said on day one is that it's technology that's going to really help us solve this case. But no, I mean, you know, we did do a process of that scene for biological evidence, so we're still hopeful that maybe something will show up there as well.
Arizona Republic, Richard Relas?
Agent Yankee?
Yes.
We saw on the scene, I believe it was you, taking a tripod into the home of the sister. How involved was the FBI, if at all, in creating the video? Any advice for the family?
I would say we use our expertise and provide consultation and advice anytime a family would ask for our advice in a kidnapping. It's ultimately the family's decision of what they put out and any messages they put out. But we were, obviously, you're all documenting every move we make. We were there last night in talking with the family. But every decision is theirs.
Right, that was a tripod and a ring light. And Sheriff, now, you said the blood was found on the porch and on the front stoop. Just wanted to verify that.
I say porch, front stoop. It's all in that same general area by the front door.
Front of the house.
Front door, yes.
What, given her medical condition and the fact that it was her blood, as you say, what would her medical condition do with her recovery if she indeed bled out or was bleeding when she left the house?
Well, again, I've got to be careful for HIPAA, but I would say this. We know she is in need of medication, daily medication. And we also know that this is day 4 or 5, and still we don't know that she's getting her medication. That could in itself prove fatal.
And for the
No, that'll be that question. For K-Gun News, we have Craig Smith or Athena?
I'll get that for you. I'll get his name.
Craig?
K-Gun, Athena.
Oh, okay.
Have you been in communication with anyone who you believe could be the kidnapper?
You know, it goes back to what we talked about. Nobody's eliminated, but we just really don't have enough to say, this is our suspect, this is our guy, we know, or our gal. We just don't know that. And it's really kind of reckless to report that someone is a suspect when they could very well be a victim. It just, I bring to you, to the media, I plead with you to be careful of what it is we put out there, because we don't have anybody here listed as a suspect, and you could actually be doing some damage to the case, but you can do some damage to that individual too. Social media is kind of an ugly world sometimes.
Damn.
How far out have you expanded your search, you say?
You know, I would tell you this. Look, nothing's off the table. if we get a lead that there's somebody, hey, you've got this over here or over here, we're going, and that will expand and expand and expand. I think the FBI with their billboards, they're now planning to put those up at every state around here, at all of our neighboring states. So, we use you, the national media, the FBI with their national outreach to affect that for us. But as far as the actual investigation, naturally the scene is the primary, and we just keep spreading it out as we get more and more leads.
Court TV, Cody Thomas.
Dear Sheriff, actually my question is for Agent Yonke. You know, we saw Savannah Guthrie and her sibling family put out a video last night on Instagram addressing, you know, the tragedy that this is, but also addressing the ransom letter saying they're ready to talk. My question is, did the FBI or any other agency help them craft that message to put out on social media?
Like I said to the previous question, we have an expertise when it comes to kidnappings. And when families want advice, consultation, expertise, we will provide that. But the ultimate decisions on what they say and how they put that out rests with the family itself.
And as far as suspects, I know we haven't identified one, but what type of suspect or suspects do we think we're dealing with here?
At this time, like the sheriff has said, there is no primary suspect identified, so it could run the gamut. So.
KPNX, Troy Hayden.
Are you actively investigating the son-in-law in this case? I know there were reports earlier this week, and you refuted that. You said you haven't eliminated everybody. Have you eliminated him or come close to it, or are you actively looking at him?
We're actively looking at everybody we come across in this case. Everybody. We would be irresponsible if we didn't talk to everybody. The Uber driver, the gardener, the pool person, whoever, everybody. It's so cliche, but everybody's still a suspect in our eyes. That's just how we look at things and think as cops. Does that mean we have a prime suspect? No, and the family's been very cooperative. They've done everything we've asked of them, and we want that relationship to continue. And sometimes people can be mean out there, and that can really harm us and harm our efforts.
Did you find blood anywhere else in the home besides the porch?
The only DNA evidence we've got back is on the porch. We prioritize things and we rush things, and those items we put out to a lab to rush it. And even then, it's 2, 3, 4 days. The other items could take 10 days, 20 days, but we saw the importance of that blood. It came back to Nancy.
So it was only there, it wasn't anywhere else in the house?
I don't know that. We processed the house for biological evidence, and we've not gotten anything back.
Newsmax, Sarah Williamson.
Hi there. My question is just piggybacking off our colleagues here about how far this search has gone. When it comes to doorbell cameras, you say technology plays a critical role in this. Have you been actively door knocking the neighbors and businesses and collecting those doorbell cameras? And is there anything that has come up there, and how far is that?
I can't tell you whether things have come up or not.
That was a waste of a question.
We have door to door. I think we're still doing door to door, not just in that neighborhood, but other neighborhoods. Just as leads come in and take us somewhere, we're going to do those things.
Okay, and just to follow up as well in regards to the video that was released by Nancy Guthrie's children last night, just to clarify, that was not coordinated with any law enforcement beforehand, and that you hadn't seen that video before it was released?
The FBI is handling all things with the ransom.
I think the answer was yes, we were there. The media was there. We can help coordinate, provide that consultation, but that is the family's decision of what they film and what they put out.
Fox 10, Justin Liu.
Agent Yonke, this one's for you. Following up on that video that was released yesterday, it said, ultimately any further action is decided on by the family. Since then, have they expressed any more interest in more efforts to try and get in contact with who is behind the ransom letter? And do you have a crisis or any sort of hostage negotiator with your team for that type of situation if it moves forward?
So the two parts of that question I think it's pretty clear. The family wants to be contacted. They know time is of the essence, and if those that may have Nancy are watching this, the family is ready to talk get proof of life because there has been no contact after that ransomware note or ransom note went to the media. For your second question, yes, we have crisis negotiators. That is part of our team here locally, along with the personnel we brought in from Quantico, and they will be part of it. But we're not going to go beyond that of any specifics.
Sure. Now, taking down the crime scene perimeter after Monday's investigation and really opening access to that property to everyone else, was that something you would do differently looking back, knowing that, you know, federal authorities also conducted a search yesterday? Would you have kept that perimeter up, knowing that?
You know, Monday morning quarterback, I probably would have, but I'll say this. We processed the scene. We got what we thought was complete. My team did that. I have to have all the faith and trust in their abilities and their skills, and I think they went through that pretty well. But because another agency now steps in and wants to assist, we're just like with you, we're an open book. Absolutely. How can we help? One of the things people don't see, I heard your question about, you know, and we left and then others could walk up. You know, when we process a scene and we're done, we return that scene to in this case, the homeowners, the family. And we don't just go march back in there. We call the family again and get permissions to go back to the home. So, yeah, there's, again, Monday morning quarterback, absolutely. I probably could have held off on that. We knew the FBI. We've worked with them before in a lot of cases, and we felt like they could be of help in this with particularly the forensic analysis we use in a number of things. But at the start of this thing, we weren't sure what we had, and as the day progressed, we realized that there could be more to this, and we started in that. Remember, it was a search and rescue mission the first few hours, and we transitioned that over to a criminal investigation. With that, brought in our partners from the FBI and others.
Have you heard from President Trump?
Claudia Ramos. Univision, Claudia
I was
Ramos.
actually going to ask about that. We saw the message yesterday.
Are you next?
Claudia, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Univision. Following up on that, we saw the message from the president yesterday. Have you personally received any communication from him or
No, and I wouldn't expect that. He too is a busy man, right? And I would say this: we thank him for him. His entire law enforcement team was put out yesterday, and we know, you know, I know my local reporters here know. We've always worked well with all of our partners in law enforcement. Maybe it's something unique to Southern Arizona, and the rest of the country doesn't see that, but this isn't new for us. We've done this. Gabby Giffords, I headed up that investigation many years ago, and we worked side by side. Could not have got things done if we weren't with the FBI on that.
And just the other question, this being a border state, have you guys had any communication with Mexican authorities?
I have not. I work closely with the Mexican consulate, as other consulates, being the sheriff, but no, I've not heard from them.
Arizona, Univision, Manris.
Hi, Sheriff. My question is, do you know, it's a two-part question, do you know what medication Nancy uses? And have you checked the local pharmacies or pharmacies around the state where they bought, per se, this medication to keep her alive, to keep her healthy, while it's still good for her?
So we do know what medications, and we have contacted pharmacies. Probably need to go back to just make sure that they didn't, maybe we contacted them early on. I know that night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, I know we were doing all the hospital checks, and that check was continuous every hour, going back out. And physically in person, deputies were going to each local area hospital and asking them to check their logs.
My second question here is, I know you're looking for her in Pima County. Are you looking for her across the state now? And still, if there's a particular area that you're focusing on right now?
Well, we're looking for her everywhere, right? The FBI just made an arrest on a tip that we got that we thought there could be something here. It's statewide. The billboards are going to be out there across the country. We take leads from everywhere, and where those leads take us, we'll get there.
MS Now, Alex Talbot.
Any reason the
believe that Nancy Guthrie may be being held outside of the country. Is that something that you ruled out at this point?
We don't have any of that information. We haven't ruled anything out. Like the sheriff said, we will follow the facts wherever they take us, whether it is outside of the state of Arizona or over the border. We will follow the facts and go there. But we have no indication anything over the Mexican border.
And you mentioned on the ransom note there were details about the Apple Watch and the floodlight.
Yep.
The ransom notes that were sent out to TMZ, KGUN, and KOLD. Are they all the same ransom note? Do they contain the same details, each of those individual ransom notes?
The ones that I am tracking and aware of were the same that went to TMZ also.
News Nation, Brian Enton.
Agent Yankee, sorry.
Yes.
When did the first ransom note arrive? And the reason I ask is because the Apple Watch has been in the news and on social media, and you could see like floodlights on video. So was it before those things were out in the world?
I don't have the specific time frame as I sit here today of what time it came in, but that you are right. Anyone could see a floodlight hanging down, could have seen some of those things. The watch has been talked about, so that timing is tricky, but that's why we're taking it serious no matter what and following the leads on that. But I don't have the time frame that the first note came in as I sit here today. Thank you.
And my follow-up is for the sheriff. In the house, were there any signs that someone tried to clean up or maybe destroy evidence?
I can't talk about the crime scene, so I'll give you another shot, another question.
My other question is, I heard the agent say that it was a joint investigation now. At the other press conference, the FBI said they were assisting. Is it joint now? Are both agencies in charge now?
Look, there's no ego here. We in this part of the country, we'll take anybody's help. It's not about, it's not about who's in charge. From day one, when we contacted the FBI, they were that gracious to say, whatever you need. And so that's really it. And they're great partners, just as my other local law enforcement brethren. I didn't even have to ask. That's what's really amazing. I haven't had to call anybody. They've called me. Sheriff, what do you need?
Arizona's family, Brianna Whitney.
Sheriff, I know you had the crime scene process. You said you went back out there. Your partners wanted to see it. But you guys were actively taking out evidence yesterday. Was there something you missed the first time, or did you get a piece of information that led you to believe you needed to go back out and take more than you had that first day?
I know that we get information that will come, and this is just any crime scene that we look at. We may go out to a crime scene and think we've got it all, go analyze the evidence, and something comes back and says, hey, did you check this? We're not going to just say, oops, and not go. Absolutely. In this instance, it really was the FBI just wanted to go, hey, can we take a look at it?
Are you worried about that being contaminated at all because there was people in?
I'll let the courts worry about that. We will certainly be open to the courts of anything that's been removed from that house, and we follow the rules of laws. We get court orders and go back and reapply for another warrant if need be. All of those things we're very careful of.
Arizona Public Media, Lynn Boyd.
Ellen Boyd over here. In that news release yesterday, there was a report of a trespasser. Has the Guthrie family dealt with any incidents, threats, whether that's trespassing, social media threats, anything of that nature?
I am not aware of any of that. I know that we, as with any case, again, we would look at all of the background of calls to those families or their residents and see if there's anything there, or even in that neighborhood. Those things have been looked at. I don't know of anything that was reported in even the last 30 days or 60 days. Nobody's come to me and said, hey, next door you had a burglary.
Follow up for the neighborhood where Nancy's home is. Can you give any more details on that trespassing incident?
I don't have them.
Telemundo, Jesus Gonzalez.
It's for the FBI. I just have a question. Can we confirm if the FBI director is coming for the investigation?
Yes, Director Patel is being briefed several times a day on this investigation back in D.C. He does have a trip scheduled to Tucson that was pre-scheduled before this, but he is receiving consistent and constant updates from our team here.
Coming today?
He is not coming today.
And before you go to the next one, I know you may have had a follow-up question, but I think I overstepped you. So if you wanted to ask, I'll give you that opportunity.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Absolutely.
Thank you. At what point do you deem the ransom note not credible if there is no communication that follows up since you received it? Like, what's that timeline where you say, no proof of life, there's no more, this isn't credible?
I think we start to look at what the deadlines were in the note. First, I think, was 5 o'clock today, and then it had a second deadline after that. So we are continuing. In a normal kidnapping case, there would be contact by now, trying to discuss that. But those are the timeframes we are looking at as we move forward.
Are you able to say that second deadline that was given?
I don't have that with me right now. So thank you.
Sorry about that. Entertainment Tonight, Denny Directo.
Yes, my question actually is for Agent Yonke. There was a report that said the ransom came from an email that the FBI was actually looking into that IP address. Any update on that?
Nothing that I can release. Thank you.
And then also, there's also conflicting reports about who was the last person to actually see Nancy and drive her home. We know she took an Uber to Annie's house, but can you confirm whether it was Annie or her son-in-law Tommaso who took her home that night?
I think the timeline that the sheriff provided was a family member, but
Just family. We're going to go with family.
Record TV, Vandry Piera.
Sir, we're for national, so we're not familiar with the area, so we think that is a remote area. So my question is, why is it so hard to track a car or something suspicious that have passed through the area at that night? How difficult it is, because probably cameras around or something.
Yeah, you're talking about the challenges we face in some of being in a rural area like this. Those are face all the time. We'd love it to have all the cameras in what we would consider a more urban nature type area. But once you get out into the community, that's not the only part of Tucson that is that way. And we just find ways to overcome those challenges. We don't just disregard it. We still look at ways to find for example, Ring cameras that might catch just a piece of something, goes catch the car, those kinds of things. We don't give up. We still go out.
But not at least a car that came out at that night?
I can't.
Away, like miles from the house.
We
Answer the
have
poll
cameras
correctly,
all over,
please.
and those things are being reviewed.
Arizona Republic, Richard Willis.
I'm a different person, but pretend.
Did he get two?
It's the second one.
Was that you?
Oh, sorry.
No.
We all right. Thank you guys for keeping us honest. No, you already asked your question, so we're going to go to the New York Times with Reese. And I apologize for getting your name wrong here, Reese. Tebow?
No, you're close.
Tebow.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hi.
The 212, the camera that detected movement at 212, was that a different camera than the one that was disconnected at 147, and where was it pointed?
We don't know that. We don't know which camera that was. When we did the software, it just told us that the person was detected. But I'm unaware of which camera that was.
So there were multiple cameras, and you're not sure?
Sure. There were multiple cameras at the home.
Okay. And is there a possibility that this is not a ransom situation? And if so, what else could it be?
Your guess is as good as mine. I would say absolutely there's a possibility that this is nothing to do with the kidnapping. But we cover all angles. We're not going to dismiss something until we actually know for a fact that it's one way or the other.
People Magazine, we have Danielle Walker.
So I wanted a little more clarity to follow up on his. Is there anything more you can say? Was this actually targeted or not? Do you have any?
That's why we have the FBI to look at those areas where there may have been a target. Maybe it is a kidnapping. But no, we don't have anything to rule that out or to say it is.
And as far as the ransom notes, there was a part in there about Bitcoin. Are you looking into that now, investigating?
Yes, that's part of the investigation.
Can you go and elaborate any further if you found anything or if there's any ties or any suspects tied to that Bitcoin?
There is not at this time.
Associated Press, Joe Goldendera.
Hi, Sheriff. Just to follow up to a
You're
prior-
Joe?
I'm sorry?
You're Joe?
Goldendera.
Oh, I thought you said Joe. Okay.
Just to follow up to a prior question, you had said early in the investigation that authorities don't believe Nancy Guthrie was targeted. Why don't authorities think that Nancy Guthrie was targeted?
Who said that?
You had said that early in the investigation.
Boy, if I said I missed, I absolutely missed.
What did she say? Say that again? Come on, man. Their feeds are terrible.
Who said that?
Look at this. It's skipping when she asked the question.
Okay.
Just to follow up to a prior question, you had said early in the investigation that authorities don't believe Nancy Guthrie was targeted. Why don't authorities think that Nancy Guthrie was targeted?
Who said that?
You had said that early in the investigation.
Boy, if I said I missed, I absolutely misspoke. I've never thought she was or wasn't targeted. We've always believed that is certainly a possibility. I mean, you'd be silly not to think that. Or somebody disappears in the middle of the night out of their home. You can understand where I'm coming from. But no, if I said that, obviously I misspoke or maybe somebody misheard me. But I've never believed that she was or was not a target.
Is there anything more specific you can say about what you believe at this time?
Motive's always going to be a question, and we'll know more as we go what that motive is. But right now, my guesswork is as good as yours.
And then we also have, the final one will be from KVOA here in Tucson, Monica Garcia.
Okay, so let's talk about that 5 p.m. Did you say 5 p.m. deadline today? Is that the deadline? Maybe that's for the FBI.
Yes.
Can you just give us some sound on that? Because that's a big deal. That's within hours about that 5 p.m. deadline per the ransom note.
Guys, can you please answer the poll? Please answer the poll. Everyone. I had to redo it again.
Supposed to happen after.
Answer the poll. Answer the poll. Answer the poll. Answer the poll.
So the ransom note that was distributed to the media did make a demand for 5 p.m. today, and if a transfer wasn't made, then I think a second demand was for next Monday. We're not going to go beyond that. What the media received.
Did it indicate what would happen if they didn't meet that ransom? Did they?
We're not going to go into those specifics. Thank you.
5 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, I know it's not Arizona. It's 5 p.m.
I don't.
It's 5 p.m.
And then, sorry about that, Inside Edition, Jim Murray.
Special Agent Yonke, given the fact that the FBI participated in the creation of this family video, does that suggest your belief that the author or authors of that ransom note, in fact, have Nancy Guthrie?
Again, we're taking the ransom note serious, and we are following that part of the investigation.
And does the fact that there is a ransom note suggest to you that Nancy Guthrie was taken specifically because she's Savannah's mom?
There's nothing to indicate that.
Thank you guys so much.
Such a stupid question.
The sheriff does have just one more note about what happens next year, or what doesn't happen next.
Well, it's what happens for us is we're going to continue working. For you though, I hope this worked out well for you. But right now, I have no plans to schedule any further press conferences unless we have.
If you didn't receive neither YouTube or Discord, don't answer the poll.
Some real evidence or something to bring up to you. It's pretty pointless to just keep hounding the same things over and over. And as Special Agent in Charge Yonke said, please give us some space, and that's not just physical space. Give us some space, give my team some time, because these things do take time, and they are difficult. And everybody out there is really working hard. And mistakes are going to be made, and if I made them, mea culpa. It won't be the first mistake I've ever made, but more important than me is we want Nancy back. That's the key. Okay, so thank you very much, and thank you for your concern in this.
Thank you. If you were looking for the other person that was up here, it was John Edwards, JONEDWARDS, Assistant Special Agent in Charge.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Wow. I am blown away. Heather, what are you talking about? Heather in the chat. Heather in the chat, what are you talking about? I didn't want to answer your poll anyway. Mustard, what's up, Mustard? How you going? The reason why I'm asking you guys to answer the poll, again, you don't have to answer. You don't. If you haven't received both, we're going to get into that at the very, very end. And this poll is actually going to be very important. Probably very, very important. But this presser right here, let's put the poll to the side. I'm going to explain that at the very, very end. And Heather, chill out in the comments. This presser, it started off being disappointing. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this was actually informative. It was very informative. I am very disappointed in some of the actions even the FBI took. Local law enforcement investigators, FBI, so far, a little disappointed. I'm going to get to that in a second. Actually, I can get into that now. They have now decided yesterday to call in more agencies. They have now decided today to put $50,000. And you're probably saying, no, that's not important. That is important because that'll motivate and inspire people to try to help, to call in more tips. Money motivates people, whether you like it or not. You don't have to like that. You could be like, hey, no, people should just do it willingly. Let's talk realistic in the world that we live in right now. People are motivated by money. Okay, $50,000, that took you to February 5th to do that. That should have been done on the 2nd or the 3rd. To anyone. It doesn't have to be a high-profile case with Savannah and her family. That don't matter. Everyone should be treated equal, whether it's Nancy Guthrie or a poor 10-year-old who lives in a poor neighborhood in a poor family. No one is above anyone. Let's get that straight. Okay. Now, I'm going to get to the super chats. I just want to say, Julie, shout out to Julie and Rescue Me. Thank you both for supporting the channel. I will answer your questions in just a moment. I wrote down my notes on the phone. I was not here on TikTok. No, I was taking my notes very seriously. Around 40 minutes on the property, and the camera was covered. Now, I am going to say this. This individual that was on the property, what? Peach, what are you talking about? What's happening? What are you talking about? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand. Okay. At around 1:47 a.m., the camera was like, someone was on the property, right? Around that time. And later, they said to us around 2:20 is when the camera was covered. So it gave in a 40-minute timeline that someone was on that property. That's so interesting to me. That's so interesting to me. They were like on the property so carefully. The activity picked up around 1:47 a.m. And then the pacemaker was disconnected at around 2:20. That is so interesting to me because it's like they took their time on the property. Usually people go in, they have a plan, right? But they took their time to enter, get Nancy, and leave. We're dealing with individuals that know exactly what they're doing. This is interesting to me. That part really got to me. I don't know what to say to that. I'm fumbled on that because That tells me, this is what it tells me. It tells me that these people know exactly what they're doing. They didn't say the camera picked up a face. They didn't say the camera was smashed. There was a lot of indirects to Ashley Banfield. There was a lot of indirects. A lot of indirects to Ashley Banfield. I'm gonna get to you guys' questions. You guys are asking like very good. This is very good information. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. I'm not paying attention to no troll. I don't have time for that right now. I promise you I'm not. And I'm not, like, the sensitivity, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not at this point. Oh, you guys are asking really good questions. Really good questions. Really good questions. Okay. Why are they now using all the agency resources? That's what I'm upset about. I already explained that. They're doing that now. It's terrible at this point. The ransom note had facts and info. Apple Watch floodlights. We're dealing with someone who put out an authentic ransom note. This is so mind-boggling. We're dealing with someone who this is more, they're taking it seriously. They put out we were right. We were right. And the only reason why I said that at the very beginning is because they said they can identify items. They did not say item. You got to listen to this press conference and what they say even during interviews. They said items. And obviously there was an imposter. It's common sense someone was going to do that. Fucking idiots. They arrested one imposter this morning. Nuts. Don't be confused. I'm pretty sure people took that and ran with it. And they think that, oh, the ransom note was fake. No. There was another one that was sent that was just BS. Like an idiot that don't know nothing about what they're doing. But there was a real one. And they said they believe that was the one sent to TMZ and KOLD. There was some other ransom note. That fake one. But that fake one, they already arrested that person. This real one. They didn't even. Oh my God. This is the part what I'm upset about. They should have been transparent to say that the authentic one is, the one they verified is the authentic one. I wish I was there. I would have asked specific questions. But somebody did answer the question that was very important. Is the one that the individual you arrested who sent the fake one, is there an authentic one that you are currently working on? And is Savannah talking to want proof of life, responding to the authentic one? Very, that would have been great. The one takeaway from this is that they said that they believe that Nancy is alive. I am with you. I'm with you on that. I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, I really do. I've been nailing this case, and I promise I do believe she's alive. And I promise you, this is not some wishful thinking. I really do believe she is alive. And can I change your mind? Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? Let me explain to you why. When it comes to the legitimacy of this ransom note, right? We're dealing with someone that knows exactly what they are doing. This is planned. As of today, I can for sure say this is executed so well that they need to keep her alive to receive the funds. They need to keep her alive to receive. They're going to do whatever it takes. I mean, you're asking for a big amount. I can assume you have a lot of money of resources, or you may be doing it out of desperation. But this plan is so sophisticated and planned out so well. I give credit, but not in a respectful way. I don't respect criminals, but I do respect the success. I do, because they plan this out. It's executed. I don't like it. I disagree that criminals is disgusting, but it's working for them. It is. It is. And if it works, and the FBI and multiple agencies are scrambling, scratching their heads like 5 days in, we need proof of life. One fucked up, but the other one, they contradict their statements again, by the way. It shows that these people know what they're doing, and they're going to keep her alive. It all results to my point of them keeping her alive. They have the medication. They have treatments for her. We're dealing with individuals that know what they are doing. Unless there's some complications with Nancy, where she's elderly and, she's so stressed. Cortisol levels are high. It's something's bad is happening. But I truly, my opinion, I really believe she's alive. Yes. But they need to show proof of life. Anything could happen. So, she's elderly. God forbid. I do agree with them on that part. Absolutely. They identified no suspects. That was a blow to Ashley Banfield. That was a blow. That was a blow to Ashley. And I understand what they're doing. They're trying to protect the integrity of the case. Let me just hold on real quick. I need to ban somebody. Because this is ridiculous. Like, you're acting like a child. Hold on real quick. What? Whiskey? No one's talking about you, right? Why do people think it's directed to them? It was for one person. Bye, Whiskey. What are you talking about? That was nobody was talking about you. Okay, let's move on. You know what it is? I think people are watching this stream late. I see there's a mixed comments. You didn't receive notification. Let's talk about that later, guys. Let's talk about that later. Focus, screw them. I know, Rick. It's like the sensitivity is outstanding. I don't know. Today's a little weird today. I don't know what's going on. They think that it's directed to one specific. It's directed to one person. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore at this point. It's strange to the. Okay. Let me answer you. It's strange the delay of the ransom note. I wonder if the initial plan was to have her get money herself, and when she put up a fight, the ransom was plan B. I don't think I agree with you, Mustard, on this. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, Macy, I see that. I do see that, Macy. Right. Macy, I see that. I wonder if the initial plan was to have her get money. I don't think so. I think that's way too, no. I don't think so. I don't think so, Mustard. I don't think I can agree with this. I think that the initial plan was Bitcoin. That's a definite way this is too planned. They had specific things indicated within that ransom note, which we're going to get into. It's actually scary. And this is the part that I'm most disappointed in law enforcement. I'm going to explain to you why. Everyone lock in. But I don't think so, Mustard. This is way too exposed. This is you're going in public. They're gonna get money from her. It puts themselves in a position where anything that's a rapid situation. I respect your opinion, but I don't think that it's a plan B. No, this is way too methodical. Why wait so long? Let me explain something to you. We don't know what they got before TMZ. I don't think it's too long. She got kidnapped on the 1st. The ransom was given on the 3rd. So you have to understand, these criminals, this is executed flawlessly. I'm going to answer that question right now. Okay, I got this. I'm going to answer this question right now. Check this out. To answer that question, I got to go back to what they said later during the press conference. A demand was met. The deadline for the first demand was today at 5 p.m. If it was not met, a second demand was met Monday coming up. That's long, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got to wait 4 more days just in case if it's not met by a second demand. If it's this long, right? Lock in. Listen to me. If it's this long, on the 9th, if it's this long, these criminals are confident that they will not get caught. These criminals are confident. Now, the second demand, first demand was today. They said, we need this money today by 5 p.m., which I am so fucking sick to my stomach from all these agencies. Everyone, you want to know why? Why the fuck would you wait for a second demand? Why would you wait? Money lost, and God forbid what they're doing to Nancy. That's Nancy's blood, right? DNA. It looks like they don't give a fuck. These people don't care. They kidnapped somebody. Why just meet their demands on today? This is the first demand. Just meet it. Get her back. Why the fuck you want to wait till Monday? I would never understand that. Disgusting. Savannah had to put the video on the 4th. Mustard, I think that I am more disappointed on the investigators that told them to Savannah now she could put the video on the 4th. I would have done that once I got the ransom note. And from the 1st to the 3rd, it's not that much of. I think that they needed to see the response, Mustard. They need to see the response to the public to see how this goes. Changing positions. The 2nd, February 2nd, was them to assess the situation. For all we know, they must have gotten something in the 2nd because FBI said that's when they got it from TMZ and KOLD. They didn't say, oh, we must have gotten it or someone. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have enough information on that. But what I do know, what I can tell you is they need to meet this demand by 5 p.m. 5 p.m. So right now, it's 12:35 Mountain Time in Arizona. Meet the fucking demand. Do something. Come in contact. It's wild. Okay, let me say something. Let me say something. A lot of new people. I don't know what's going on. Yo, Macy, what's going on? I'm hype. I'm passionate. I'm focused. I'm in here. I am this way. This means that I am not angry or I'm upset or nothing. If you're new here or you don't know me, you've been watching me for like a few months, you might not know. This is how I act. I'm not upset or mad. I'm just passionate about the case. You're good. So for the people who feel somewhat offended in the chat, don't be. I'm just hype. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I'm chilled. I'm perfectly fine. I'm all love and peace, y'all. Rochelle said, don't forget, in order to keep her alive, they need to feed her. I think they look for food deliveries, groceries. Rochelle, so let me answer this question real quick. This is actually not a bad question. Super chats are on fire. Mustard, that was a phenomenal super chat, Mustard. See, you guys are literally thinking. I friggin' love it. Can we get a round of applause for the people in the comments? Please. Like, you guys are incredible. This is another incredible question. Questions like you guys are sending these super chats or questions that helps us think and understand what's going on. It helps. Don't forget, in order to keep her alive, they have to feed her. I need to look at food deliveries and grocery details and surrounding stores. Very good question. I'm going to roll with the second part of the question. Food deliveries, that's too risky. You need to think we are dealing with criminals. They know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. Remember, he said no tire marks. Okay, damn. 40 minutes on the property? 1:47 a.m. is when activity around. That's what they got around the property. 2:10 was the disconnect from pacemaker. They literally took that long. I would think they were in and out in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. 40 minutes? They were meticulous. They were, guys, you understand that, right? 40 minutes on the property. Yo, what the fuck were they doing? That's why he said we found no other DNA in the property. You're not, because they were thorough. These motherfuckers are thorough. They are thorough. Look at the success rate. Day 5, a ransom was the man on the 3rd, and the family had to just put out, listen, fuck it, we want to cooperate now. On the 4th, and now on the 5th, this fucking presser, which good information, I give them my respect. I give you, listen, I'm going to call it like it is. FBI, Chris, you are doing your job. You must be tired. You guys are doing your job. I cannot take that away from you. But if I say some of this shit is ridiculous, it is. The award, I'm disappointed in. You waited till this day, 5 p.m., meet the fucking first demand. You're playing with a life. All right? And to put out that video, we know you scripted that. We called it, and now you basically did that. Come on now. But why did you wait till the 4th? You should have did it when you got that. You're playing with a life. And if something that happens, that's going to fall on your ass. All right? So listen, I'm gonna be tough and hard because this is a life. Your mama and daddy was tough and hard on you as a child so they can shape you and groom you into a perfect person you are today. Right? That's what they did. They whipped my ass. They gave me, you're grounded, do homework, do this. When you're on something, it comes out better. So then treat it with this situation. Get on it. You contradicted yourself even in this presser. I expect public pressure. Expect that. You're going to get that. Rescue Me, you did send a super chat. You said something about an email. I'm going to look into my email tonight when I have a second podcast. I'm going to respond to that. Rescue Me. But Rescue Me, emails are for business inquiries. So please keep that in mind, okay? Rescue Me. But for the people that became a member, Pixie Dust, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. We love having you. Other people became members. We're going to get to more of this stuff. This was interesting. This was so interesting. Rescue Me, you became an executive. I genuinely appreciate you. Rescue Me, thank you, thank you. And Rochelle as well. Rochelle, you are popping off. Rescue Me, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Did I miss anything else? Jazzy, I didn't see what you wrote, Jazzy. I don't know why it's not popping up. International and tunnels. She's from Texas. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Please, if you're going to send a super chat, send it long. Help me understand this. International and tunnels. Am I missing something here? Thank you for the super chat. She's from Texas. I love your name. Shout out to Texas. You mind being a little more clear on that for me? I don't understand. I don't understand that. I'm so sorry. Maybe somebody can clear that up for me. Force entry. Okay. You know, the talks of this force entry, I don't really know what to say about this because I'm going to take accountability. I'm so sure. Force entry. If somebody could find it for me, I'm begging you. I believe that he said that there was forced entry. If I was heavily mistaken, I owe everyone an apology. I owe everyone an apology. I really do. But I am not the only one that reported that. But let me not shift accountability. I was so sure he said forced entry. He used some words to deem as forced entry. Let me know if you can find that video. Anyone, I will give you credit. Put it in the Discord. Please put it in the Discord. If I'm mistaken, I'll an apology, but they made a lot of mistakes. But they're human, and I get that. I'm not gonna knock law enforcement down too much. I will not do that. This is not what this is about. It's not about that. But it is about taking accountability. This is a life right here. You guys are asking so much good questions. It's incredible. Incredible. Keep it coming, guys. Ask these good questions. Please ask these good questions. You're blowing my mind. I would have never thought that what Mustard and Rochelle said. That's really good. That is really good. Pacemaker disconnected. We kind of talked about that. I wish Lena was here. If Lena was here, this would have answered her question. So Lena, if you are in here, I hope that already answered your question from what the presser says. We're going to go back to the presser because something was said towards the end. Something was said. Look on the Mexican land. Look on the Mexican land. So they are working with, they said they were working with Mexican law enforcement. I believe they said that, right? We're going to go back to that also. But keep in mind, they only have so much jurisdiction. So they would have to contact Mexican law enforcement and work with them. I'm pretty sure that's the case, 65 miles away from the border. Angel Eyes that lives around there, people that live around there, you guys help with that information really well. You guys are incredible. But yo, we need to talk about what he said with Ashley Banfield. He didn't say her name, but he said some few words. He said that you're hurting the investigation. That's exactly what he said. He said that you're hurting the investigation. Prime suspect. He says, what is this? Yeah. Let's get to the next one. What is going on in my ear? I feel pressure. The deadline and value, I'm sicking to my stomach. With this deadline and value. 5 p.m. today. Wow. Okay. Let's talk about there was no one specified a time for the first ransom note. No one said nothing about that. I'm surprised at that. If the second demand will be met by Monday. A second demand will be met by Monday. So Nancy could be with these motherfuckers till Monday, which gives law enforcement enough time to work this out. That being said, 5 p.m. today, a second demand Monday. They're going to shift locations. They're going to spoof. They're going to change. They haven't even been caught. And it's February 5th. We're dealing with professionals here. We are dealing with professionals. So they are definitely watching everybody on social media. They're watching the news. They're watching everybody. They are on this. These criminals are on this. And let's not forget what they said. The FBI said during the press conference, we are now taking the ransom note serious now. I think they always have. He was just talking. But yeah, no shit. At the very beginning of this podcast, I remember there were people, even comments. People were saying that this ransom note is bullshit. They don't believe in it. I think we did a poll on it. And I was telling you guys, you have to understand that they said stuff inside of the ransom note to identify Nancy, what went on in the house. But man, to say an Apple Watch, the color of it, other items, yeah, they're taking this seriously. But I sense a disconnect from the criminals and law enforcement. You guys notice something, that the criminals who had took Nancy, they are so careful and they are so it reminds me of a movie that they only communicated when it was important to. Everything was important. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, this is what I'm saying. These criminals didn't send rapid emails. They didn't say back-to-back-to-back messages. There was no reports of that. There was no open line direct communication. It was just a ransom note and the ball's in your court. We'll wait. We'll wait. They are doing this they're executing this flawlessly. I'm not saying they're doing a good job. I'm saying that they are doing it where there's no success rate in capturing these criminals. The information given today was information that has already been done. There was not that much progress I see here. Great, this is great information, but some of this is the information that they already been had, that they are now telling us. You understand what I'm telling you? I sense no progress. There's only, we got a ransom note. An imposter, we arrested him. The other one is legit. We believe she's alive. They identified no suspects. The forced entry question. The pacemaker disconnect. You get what I'm saying? The camera we sent somebody was at 1:47 a.m. to 2:10, 2:20. Everything that they are telling us is what already happened. But was there any new development? That was something that we all figured out and talked about. You get what I'm asking? You get what I'm saying? You didn't sense that during this presser? No, you guys didn't. You didn't see that? All of this, what was being said. Why are they now using all the agencies? Why it took them so fucking long? A $50,000 reward. Why so long? The only thing that was said to us that we were like, oh shit, is 5 p.m. today, a demand needs to be met. If not, Monday. That is the only thing that I got from here. That is the only thing. The deadline, of course, with the deadline. Majority of this stuff was stuff that happened. So it's like, I'm gonna say this, and you most of you guys can agree or disagree, but let me tell you this. This is exactly what this sounds like. It sounds like that these criminals who took Nancy, who have everyone on the frenzy, even the authorities, FBI, ICAC, local law enforcement, ATF, Border Patrol. It sounds like that the criminals are in charge of this investigation. That's what this sounds like. I'm calling it like I see it. I have proof. Lack of more information. Transparency is I understand that. It's an investigation. I can get my feelings intertwined, but feelings are not valid. That's not part of the investigation, is it? The criminals are in charge because they are not caught. There's no leads, no suspects, nothing. There's nothing. But yet they believe Nancy's alive. What the hell? You believe Nancy is alive? But you have no suspects, no nothing, no leads? Day 5? Savannah put out the video wanting to negotiate? Proof of life? Criminals are in charge. Criminals are in charge. Criminals are in charge. And when criminals are in charge, that means that they're nowhere to be found. As of now, you'd be surprised. I'm not, again, shitting on our justice system, but day 5 and all that's happening, you think these reporters are scratching their fucking heads. Why haven't you? I understand you guys. I do. And I actually understand a little bit of what Ashley said as well. But I see what, Chief Nanos was, bumping heads with Ashley. Let's not sugarcoat shit. Let's keep shit real. All right. I want to see Ashley's response to that. In charge or in control? Both. Both. If they're not in charge, they wouldn't be responding to a ransom note. They bust in and get them, right? It'd be a standoff, a barricaded situation, right? They're both in charge and in control. Trust me. Trust me. Right now, we want proof of life. Well, and let me tell you something. I'm curious if these individuals are going to send proof of life to the media. Will it be a YouTube video upload? If they really want the media, let me tell you something. These criminals, why do I feel like these criminals, they want everyone to know that this is happening? I told you this, right? Whenever I say with TMZ, why send it to TMZ? I fucking told you. They're going to send something, proof of life. They're going to give it to Savannah, the feds. But if they genuinely want the public to see this, that means that they want pressure to put on law enforcement. We have been on this case. We have been on it. And with your questions, even your comments, you guys are helping. You guys are amazing. But damn, what is going on, with this investigation? I mean, the whole case in general. The whole case. This is something I would have never thought I would ever witness. Never. Oh my gosh. I would have never thought that. This is interesting. This is so interesting. We're going to have multiple podcasts on this today. But you guys, so let me answer the question real quick. What's going on? You're taking Candace roles. Look where. How do you say that? Horchuka? Is it Horchuka? An army installation in the southeastern Arizona known for military intelligence. Interesting. Did you see my super chats? I did answer your super chats, Julie. There was one that you sent that you said, also, Nancy got a knock at the door with no forced entry. Maybe she knew the person and let them in. Julie, let me get the clip real quick of him saying the forced entry. Let me get this clip real quick. There was a clip. I know I'm not mistaken, Julie. He said something about forced entry that we believe that, or did he say just only we believed she was kidnapped? I'll be disappointed in myself if I got that wrong. I would take full accountability, and I'm sorry, and I'm not perfect, but I strongly feel like he said that. I feel like he said that, and I don't want to get my feelings mixed up with the case. Okay, let me explain the pin message and the poll. The reason why I asked this poll, okay? Did you get a YouTube notification, Discord, right? So I want you guys to look at the poll. 17% of you, right? And the people who did not answer, you didn't receive a notification because I always tell people why I didn't get a notification. I didn't know you was asleep. You're not showing up. And I said to you, you know, I will run out of notifications. YouTube won't push me, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. If I could push the notification to your phone, I wish I could. But there is a way for me to do that. Can you guys answer the question in the comments that I say every day for people to do? Because you're going to miss out. You're going to keep missing out. You're going to miss the live. You're missing information. And you're going to be, oh, no, I didn't know you said that because you didn't get the notification. I stress and I tell people, please, if you want to get involved, you know, you want to be in it now, you don't want to miss the YouTube notification, what do I always say to do? If you guys could please put it in the comments, tell these people that, hey, Nove said to do what? Use Discord. Join Discord. Join Discord on the app, not on your Safari, Chrome browser web, on their computer or the app. The computer or the app. Discord will give you those notifications. Hey, Nova's live, because I'll let you know. I will run out of notifications on YouTube. So the fallback will be Discord. Anytime I go live, I went live 4 times yesterday and I bust my ass doing streams. So that's why you didn't get the one today, because it fell into today because we had a midnight podcast. Join Discord. For the love of God, please join Discord. Join Discord. Hi, in chat. I believe it's somebody she knows, says Mary. Mary believes it's somebody she knows. That's still a possibility. That is not off the table. Thank you, Kelly. I'm going to pin Kelly's comment for like 1,000 hours. I can't pin it. Damn it. Oh, man. I can't pin your comment. Join Discord. Just join Discord. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Join Discord. Join Discord. Join Discord. Download the app. It's free. There's no viruses. It's one of the most popular apps out there. It is the best, in my opinion. I love Discord. I'll just keep refreshing YouTube. I hate Discord. That's fine, mister. Okay. Yes, Discord would never let you down. Exactly. Exactly. If you are afraid that you're getting spammed with messages on Discord, there's literally a notification setting on Discord that you will only get my notifications. You will only get mine, nothing else. That's the beauty. That's what I love about it, is that if you're like, oh, Discord, so many notifications, but Nova's telling me not to mute the app, but this is so much on my phone. You can literally, on Discord notification setting, click one more button, only at mentions. You won't get nothing. Only, hey guys, we are live. That's it. It's so easy. Okay, I am done with that. All right, I am done. All right. Did you see them, Julie? For some reason on my end, I didn't get that, Julie. I got the 10 gifted and that one. No, Julie, I didn't see the other one. Are you trying to say you think that she let them in? Thank you, Mandy. Oh, Mandy, you on Discord? You on the server? I didn't expect you to join Discord. Mandy, I would have never thought that. To be honest, I didn't know you was on the Discord. That's awesome. So, girl from Texas, she sent me a place. I'm gonna look into that. If you're in the chat, girl from Texas, is that your name? I'm gonna look into that. I am going to look into that. Huh. Post your Discord link, please. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. I was thinking about doing like a cell phone thing. If you want, if you want to know when I go live. Listen, I ignored it. What? That's the Discord. All right. Make sure you download the app. The app. Don't do this from the browser extension. Don't do that. A browser, excuse me. Don't do it from a browser. Do it from your desktop computer like this at home, or your phone, or maybe a laptop. But never, like on the phone, on the browser. Like never do it. Never. Please download the app, Discord. It's free. It's safe. Millions and millions of people got it. Name and files. Misty, what are you talking about? I'm confused. Imposter files. I'm the typo. I'm so sorry. I'm so confused here. Never put out. Do you have this video? But they emailed Savant named two posters. Can you clarify what you mean by this, please? I see that people still think that it's the Annie's husband. I remember the individuals in the chat that actually still thinks it's the husband, and that's fine. You can definitely still think that. This is still an open investigation. They're looking to Annie, the husband. It's a possibility. I will never knock you. I get that. You're very strong on that opinion. I so understand you guys, but tell me, why do you think it's Tommaso still? Tell me why. Why do you think it's Tommaso still? I still remember the individuals that thought about that, said that. CBS is just it's good.
You hadn't seen that video before it was released.
Nancy got the approximately timeline. Family member drops off at home and garage door opens. February 1st. The doorbell camera disconnects. Doorbell camera disconnects. Software detects person on camera. No video available. (2:28 a.m.) Pacemaker apps shows disconnect from phone. This is interesting. You see what I'm talking about right there? You see, chat, everyone, take a look at this. February 1st, 2026, 1:47 a.m. to 2:12 a.m. Do you see that? That is so important. That's important. That February 1st is important. That wasn't given to us. That was today that was given to us. Somebody just wrote me a message. Listen, I want to explain something to you guys. I'm passionate. Listen, when I told you guys to choose YouTube and Discord or whatever, if you felt that I somehow offended you for just saying to choose it, then I'm sorry. I don't know how. But I don't know how. I just told choose because we were watching a video Russian, If you didn't see the option, then don't choose. But again, if you felt somehow offended off that, then I'm sorry, but it was no bad intent. Okay? All right, I'm going to move on. February 1st. Okay, let me explain why. 1:47 a.m. Let's do some math, all right? Everyone's good at math? All right. So we have a 5. That's about 25 minutes, I would say. So we're dealing with 25 minutes ish of someone from the doorbell camera that disconnects and the software detects a person on camera. Someone cover the camera, right? Now, the pacemaker app disconnects from the phone at 2:28. Now, that is exactly 16 minutes from when the person, it detects somebody on camera until the pacemaker disconnects. That means that between 2:12 a.m. and 2:20 a.m., that was their plan on getting her. So they were on the property for almost 40 minutes. Again, that tells us that they meticulously planned this out where they had, like, they somehow got in. I don't want to say undetectable. Well, kind of, yeah, because clearly Nancy didn't see this or she would have called the cops. But they did it because, let me tell you something, she didn't call the cops, did she? Somebody called the cops at 12:03 p.m. the next day. Well, same day, next day. You know what I'm trying to say. That morning. Well, yes, that afternoon, 12:03 p.m. Those times are so important because it tells us who we are dealing with. That was Nancy's blood, so that we're aware of. No one else. They went back to the house. They fumbled. Of course, they messed up. They should have secured that house, but they did not. I don't know who we're dealing with here. But every day, as information is being told to us, it shows how professional and how serious these criminals are. Isn't it? Can we all agree? Yeah? Look at the lead they had. They had a lead from 2:28, from 12:03. They had like almost a 10-hour lead. That's a hell of a lead. That's a lead. 10 hours. You can do a lot in 10 hours. How far can you go in 10 hours? That's a lead. Not 1, not 30 minutes, not 5, not 7, not even 9. 10-hour lead. This case is insane. Somebody said this old lady can follow simple directions. You're doing so fine. The reason why I stress Discord so much to you guys is because I don't want you to miss a beat. I don't want you to miss any info. I want to see you in chat and being along. And I get those comments. I didn't know you was live. Why you didn't say you was live? Oh, I missed out the info. I don't want you to miss out anything. That's why I told you to join Discord. What if they were trying to get her to transfer money? Well, the 40 minutes is on their property, not that they got her to transfer the money. You have to understand that it was at 1:47 a.m. It was activity, not that they will already have her. So that means that they just got to the property when this was executed. It would be between 2:10 and 2:28 because the pacemaker, or even a little bit after that time. I don't disagree with this. I think that's somehow possible that they are trying to get to transfer money. Then I think that, law enforcement has her phone. So they would need to see that, right? So when experts tap into this phone, they will see the activity on the phone. They work with the company. You know, this is a criminal. This is a crime investigation. It's a criminal investigation, excuse me. So they can see that she was possibly trying to go on her phone. If she can somehow transfer it, you know, then she can't go to a bank at 2 a.m. She's just not nowhere at 2 a.m. So from her phone, if they can see bank activities, hopefully they would have said that, or they would have never, no one asked that question. That's a good question. I probably would have asked that question, Mustard, because they can see activity, you know? Feds confiscated a whole bunch of evidence. So they do have her phone. If they got a laptop or computer, I'm pretty sure that they would, you know, they can get this answered. But would Nancy would have coughed it up by then? You understand what I'm saying? Guns and knives threatening her life. Wouldn't she want to give them something? But let me tell you something. Why I still think that this is not the case. Let me tell you why, Mustard. But you are thinking. This is great, actually. I didn't even think about this, Mustard. This is good. They want a large amount. You understand, Mustard? They want more money. They want a large amount. They can get more out of kidnapping her than her transferring money. You have to understand, Savannah makes a lot of money out of the family. A lot. More than any of them combined. Savannah makes a lot of money. Kidnapping her would give them more money. You know what I'm saying? Transferring to bank is risky. That is risky. Tapping in, that is risky. I think that they will get more out of Nancy kidnapping her than them, you know, receiving Bitcoin. If she was feisty and didn't expect it, I'm pretty sure Mustard, she kind of fought back, or, you know, she, you know, it's, yeah. Yeah, I know, Card Sharp. That's what I was explaining. Yeah. But Mustard is, you're still thinking, this is good. Maybe the second amount is larger than they would. Mustard, you know, you my little criminal investigator. I love it. I love it. Mustard, you a little criminal. Did I miss super chats? I am so sorry, guys. If I miss super chats, please don't get mad at me. It's so much right now. Lioness with the 5 says, did she not show up at church? Who was supposed to take her to church? She did not. And she has a car, Lioness. She did not show up at church. Great question. These are all, I haven't found one bad question. See, you guys are not this fucking report. Some of these reporters. From the girl from Texas to you guys, you are nailing these questions. I love it. Mustard, you are critically thinking. Don't stop, Mustard. Don't stop. I love that. Mustard, listen to me. Don't stop. I'm telling you, I love it. No, how did they not have footprints left there? Did they have That's a great question. They did not answer those questions, Julie. That's a great question. They did not answer those questions. Tire marks, footprints. We don't want to get into that. We don't want to get into that. No one brought that up today. They should have. See, Julie? Great question. Great question. Now, what I am going to say is this. We are dealing with professionals, Julie. Up to 40 minutes on the property. That type of field with boxwood, you think you get sand and dirt. It'll create these elements, these impressions in the garage, in her room, in the living room. They found nothing. I think that supports the legitimacy of the ransom, doesn't it? Who the fuck are we dealing with, ladies and gentlemen? That supports that they are fucking serious. Very good question. Hey, chat, the scene, not much happening but media. Are you there, Angel Eyes? Are you there? Angel Eyes, I was trying to tell you, I think we saw you. I was trying to get you in the feed. I was trying to get you in the feed. I just wanted to say bless you. Lizzie, you about to get your own sound because you did this like a couple weeks ago. Lizzie, you close to getting your own sound, girl. Lizzie, are you listening to me? Come and do a hashtag Liz in the comments. Thank you for the immense support, Liz. That means a lot. Liz! Ooh, wait, I'm sorry. Added those letters in. Liz. Okay, Liz. Sorry about that, Liz. I didn't mean to say your name wrong. I apologize. Liz, thank you so much. Thank you. Where's the girl from Texas? She's in the comments. I think she mentioned about tunnels. I'm not against that, actually. That's not. It takes out of view. Okay, we'll call her Liz, chat. She about to get her own sound real quick. Sorry about that, Liz. I didn't mean to call you Lizzie. I hope that didn't offend you. You hear the cops? It's New York City. Something's always happening. Somebody's always dying or getting shot. I said it wrong. Guys, if you're going to send super chats, like Mustard, Julie, Liz, Texas, everyone, know what you're going to say. Like, make sure the typo, make sure Lioness, everyone. Make sure you know what you're going to say. Ask the question. I'm going to get to it. Oh, wait a minute. Melanie, you asked a question. See, I missed this. She's from Texas, not girl from Texas. She from Texas. That was a great question. Going door to door patrolling cops near cities should be finding pacemaker through the Bluetooth pairing. The pacemaker, they even said it got disconnected. It's just a no-go. There's nothing. Come visit New York though. No, don't. No, not New York. Cartel tunnels out of, yes. Well, she from Texas. If you're aware of those tunnels, I'm pretty sure the feds are aware of those tunnels, right? You know, if those were already used in the past, I don't think if the cartels are into this, I'm not saying that they are. We don't know. But if criminals or any criminals, they don't have to be cartels, anyone in general, are using tunnels, then do you think the feds are no? Well, maybe it's new tunnels. I did learn about that. They can use new tunnels. Look what Wilson just put in the comments, y'all. Y'all can read that. Chrissy Almond, thank you so much for the the 10 Cashapp. Chrissy, she says, the best funny. Thanks. You are so welcome. Thank you so much. I'm not the best, Chrissy Almond. You're the best. All right, chat. Let's there was something in the presser that the detectives talked about. He says something important. Pay very close attention. Let's go find that part.
In the first few hours. Turn that scene to in this.
Agent Yankee, this one's for you. Following up on that video that was released yesterday, you said, ultimately any further action is decided on by the family. Since then, have they expressed any more interest in more efforts to try and get in contact? Who is behind the ransom letter? And do you have a crisis or any sort of hostage negotiator with your team for that type of situation if it moves forward?
So the two parts to that question I think it's pretty clear. The family wants to be contacted. They know time is of the essence. And if those that may have Nancy are watching this, the family is ready to talk, get proof of life, because there has been no contact after that ransom note went to the media. For your second question, yes, we have crisis negotiators. That is part of our team here locally, along with the personnel we brought in from Quantico, and they will be part of it. But we're not going to go beyond that of any specifics.
Sheriff Nanos, taking down the crime scene perimeter after Monday's investigation and really opening access to that property to everyone else, was that something you would do differently looking back, knowing that, federal authorities also conducted a search yesterday? Would you have kept that perimeter up, knowing that?
Monday morning quarterback, I probably would have, but I'll say this. We processed the scene. We got what we thought was complete. My team did that. I have to have all the faith and trust in their abilities and their skills, and I think they went through that pretty well. But because another agency now steps in and wants to assist, we're just like with you, we're an open book. Absolutely. How can we help? One of the things people don't see, I heard your question about, and we left and then others could walk up. When we process a scene and we're done, we return that scene to in this case, the homeowners, the family. And we don't just go march back in there. We call the family again and get permissions to go back to the home. So, yeah, there's, again, Monday morning quarterback, absolutely. I probably could have held off on that. We knew that the FBI, we've worked with them before in a lot of cases, and we felt like they could be of help in this with particularly the forensic analysis we use in a number of things. But at the start of this thing, we weren't sure what we had, and as the day progressed, we realized that there could be more to this, and we started in that. Remember, it was a search and rescue mission the first few hours, and we transitioned that over to a criminal investigation. With that, brought in our partners from the FBI and others.
Have you heard from President Trump on the resources?
I was actually going to ask about that. We saw the message yesterday.
Are you next?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Following up on that, we saw the message from the president yesterday. Have you personally received any communication from him or others?
No, and I wouldn't expect that. He, too, is a busy man, right? And I would say this. We thank him for him opening up his entire law enforcement team was put out yesterday, and we know, I know my local reporters here know. We've always worked well with all of our partners in law enforcement. Maybe it's something unique to Southern Arizona and the rest of the country doesn't see that, but this isn't new for us. We've done this. Gabby Giffords, I headed up that investigation many years ago, and we worked side by side. Could not have got things done if we weren't with the FBI on that.
And just the other question, this being a border state, have you guys had any communication with Mexican authorities?
I have not. I work closely with the Mexican consulate, as other consulates, being the sheriff, but no, I've not.
Wait.
I have not. And we worked side by side. Could not have got things done if we weren't with the FBI on that.
And just the other question, this being a border state, have you guys had any communication with Mexican authorities?
I have not. I work closely with the Mexican consulate, as other consulates, being the sheriff, but no, I've not heard from them.
Arizona Univision Madres.
My question is, do you know, it's a two-part question, do you know what medication Nancy uses? And have you checked the local pharmacies?
He's not going to tell you that.
We have contacted pharmacies, probably early on.
Hold on, I got to get to the point, Chad.
For her in Pima County, are you looking for her across the state now? And
It's something that the FBI agent said. Hold on.
Now, Alex Talbot.
Agent Yankee, do you have any reason to believe that Nancy Guthrie may be being held outside of the country? Is that something that you've ruled out at this point?
We don't have any of that information. We haven't ruled anything out. Like the sheriff said, we will follow the facts wherever they take us, whether it is outside of the state of Arizona or over the border. We will follow the facts and go there, but we have no indication anything over the Mexican border.
And you mentioned on the ransom note there were details about the Apple Watch and the floodlight.
Yep.
The ransom notes that were sent out to TMZ, KGUN, and KOLD, are they all the same ransom note? Do they contain the same details in each of those individual ransom notes?
The ones that I am tracking and aware of were the same. That went to TMZ also.
News Nation, Brian Enton.
Agent Yankee, sorry.
Yes.
When did the first ransom note arrive? And the reason I ask is because the Apple Watch has been in the news and on social media, and you could see like floodlights on video. So was it before those things were out in the world?
I don't have the specific time frame as I said.
Do you see what I'm dealing with? Do you see this? Somebody in the chat said it was me. Like somebody in the chat thought that I was responsible for the audio and the scene changes early in this podcast. Somebody literally thought that. Do you see the big error that they're doing right now? Mad stations. Do you see what I'm dealing with? Somebody in the editing room is playing the audio of the live presser when it was live. But look what the fuck they just did. They put this guy on. Look, I'm going to rewind it. Look.
The first ransom note.
The person that's talking, that's reporter Brian Enton. This is an FBI agent. Listen.
Arrive. And the reason I asked.
This is a very important question. He's talking about when did the first ransom note arrive? That was my question I had in my notes. Brian Enton, excellent job. But look at this.
Because the Apple Watch has been in the news and on social media, and you could see like floodlights on video. So was it before those things were out in the world?
I don't have the specific time frame as I sit here today of what time.
They don't have the time frame. They do not have the time frame. That is so important. That first, like, because I swear there was a video. They said that they been had the ransom note earlier. Then TMZ got it. We heard that. I got to find that video.
And it came in, but that you are right.
I've got a list. You've got a list. It stood out to me, first of all, that they believe she is still alive.
I truly believe she's alive. Absolutely.
But when asked if they had had proof of life,
fix it, man. Chris Tucker, right.
They did not offer any. And in fact, they said that the blood that we've seen pictures of on the porch right outside the door did come back as, in fact, Nancy Guthrie's blood.
Hold on. CBS, you got to be very careful here. Listen to what he just said.
Of on the porch right outside the door. And in fact, they said that the blood that it stood out to me, first of all, that they believe she is still alive. But when asked if they had had proof of life, they did not offer any. And in fact,
they did not offer any. Proof of life, they did not offer any. Sir, proof of life has not been shown yet. That doesn't mean she's deceased. What did I tell you guys about words? Context. We have to be very careful. It's not that these criminals don't want to. We just haven't received it yet. They haven't received it yet. Not that they didn't want to. They did. You have to be careful here. She could still be alive. They are afraid that because of the blood, that they don't want, if she is deceased, they don't want fake photos or AI generated stuff. They don't want that. They don't want that. I'm fixing that for him.
in fact, they said that the blood that we've seen pictures of on the porch right outside the door did come back as, in fact, Nancy Guthrie's blood.
Correct.
That's got to be concerning to everyone involved. What else stood out to you? We got a timeline, which was remarkable.
The timeline was 1:47 a.m. The doorbell camera was disabled, and later the sheriff there said that that doorbell camera is not in their possession.
By the way, knowing her daughter is clearly mom had money. Expecting that her money aside the house. So, Nikki, do you believe that Annie and Tommaso still has something to do with this, Annie? Do you still like you talk about like the daughter? They know she has money. Is that what you're saying? Since they are not stressing, they need. Who sent this? Aubergine. I hope I said your name right. Since they are not stressing, they need for meds as before. Do you think the abductor has taken meds with them? My husband always has a small stock. I think that they are able to obtain meds. I think so. I think they're able to obtain meds. Yeah, of course they. I mean, how good they did this, planned this. They're not found. They're spoofing. No, they're not traceable because we would have found them by now. And Nancy, I'm pretty sure they have access to meds. Thank you for the 10 super chat. Aubergine. I hope I said that right again. She from Texas. That's a good question. I don't know how far. I'm gonna look that up. She from Texas. That's a very good question. Good super chats. Oh my gosh. These questions are, you guys should have been there interviewing them. Good job. Wow. Nikki, good question. Aubergine, she's from Texas. These are really good questions. Shit, good job. Let's keep listening. By the way, guys, if you are new here, right? If you're just joining or you forgot, can we all please hit the like button? We are not close to the goal yet. It'll just take a quick second. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I would be so appreciated. It's just the thumbs up on the phone, your TV, your laptop, however you are experiencing this podcast. It would mean the world to me if you can hit the like button. It doesn't do anything for you. It's good for the algorithm. Actually, YouTube, it shows you what you like, and YouTube is going to push that to you now, which is good for your algorithm. So please hit the like button. And if you are new to this, welcome to Novesity. We cover true crime, also breaking life coverage and trending topics on this podcast. You're going to like this podcast. I have intelligent people I see in the comments, but a good family, a good ecosystem. These people are amazing, and it will mean the world to me if you can join the family just by subscribing. That doesn't mean becoming a member, which is paid member. Subscribing just means follow. It just hit the follow button. That's just what that means. So thank you so much. Lori, you just subscribed. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Let's keep chiming in here.
12 a.m. The software detects a person there in the home. They believe to be a person, but there's no image. 2:28 a.m., the pacemaker worn by Nancy Guthrie disconnected from the phone, from the app on the phone. So that, to me, is that key timeline. It's about 45 minutes where it appears that somebody was at that house.
Yeah, and there's a word that they used in the timeline. Again, this is a timeline put together not by journalists, but by law enforcement, and then presented to a room of journalists. The doorbell camera disconnected. That word, to me, sounds like someone took an initiative to cut something off, or the battery dropped out at that point. What do you make of that word choice?
I thought that was really interesting, and it also spoke to knowledge of how that doorbell cam works. Potentially, had somebody cased that prior, that was very interesting that they could successfully disable it in that way, and they knew that there was a doorbell camera there, and they didn't want to show up in that footage.
We had an hour-long briefing. We have a timeline that is fuller than before. We have repeatedly law enforcement saying we have no suspect, we have no person of interest. At one point, Sheriff Nano said we got nobody. And in that way, we still consider.
We got to pause this real quick. What the hell? Hold on. Yo. Hold on. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Everybody, lock in. We got breaking news. I can't believe that none of you have figured out that Nancy was never the target. Savannah is the target. She has the money to. What do you mean we haven't figured that out? I said that like what? 50 minutes ago when Mustard sent the first super chat. Was you here for that, Card Shop? Remember when she said she wanted the money? I said Savannah has money. This is, it's the family. It's not even Savannah, to be honest, Card Shop. It's the family. They want to extract as much money as possible. The amount of Bitcoin they're asking for should definitely prove that. Have they mentioned any housekeepers? We mentioned that, but they said they didn't want to get into it. No information on that. Wayne, good to see you, by the way. We got breaking news. Lock in, y'all. Lock in. All right. Check this out. A Los Angeles man. Listen. I don't see it unless it was deleted. My apologies. Oh, Jennifer, you don't have to apologize. You're so good. You guys are so good. Don't even, you're good. You're good. I promise you. Nope. No, we've been started, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. A Los Angeles man named Derek Kalea, let me know if I pronounced that right, has been arrested by the FBI for allegedly sending text to the Guthrie family to ask for Bitcoin and see if they would respond. His text messages are not believed to be connected to the ransom demand. How they caught him, DOJ criminal complaint below. Feds, I mean, it's easy. We know how they caught him. He sent a fucking text message. Feds say he tried to use VoIP app, which they were able to quickly get around via an emergency disclosure request to their mobile carrier. Then they found his IP and linked it to the California address. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say here. I think that okay. I'm gonna explain something to you guys. I think that whoever did this is a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm trying to use less profanity. It's just I'm using it because that's how stupid this is. You decided to take advantage of the situation. But what gets me the most is that he sent a text message to the Guthrie family. A text message. You have big balls to do that, but you're stupid. You think that they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna send you Bitcoin, right? You're an idiot. You're an idiot, and you used a VoIP app. You think that shit's gonna work? Are you kidding me? You're an idiot. Of course they're gonna work around that, and then they're gonna find your IP address, and then your IP address is linked to your real address. All they gotta do is contact your IP address. They say, oh, it's coming from T-Mobile, AT&T. Yo, listen, we're the feds. We need access to this. We need information. Tell us where the address is that's linked to the IP address. We got to get there immediately. They did that. You got to be like people. Guys, this is more than stupidity. This is like you have to be, something's wrong with you. You think that the feds are not going to know how to get around that? If I was a criminal, I wouldn't even use a VIP because there's ways to even though some VIP companies, agencies, they said that we will never give your information. It's scrapped, it's deleted. Stop that. Real criminals. I'm not a real criminal. Relax. I'm educated in VoIP apps and also spoofing. Let's just say spoofing. Criminals don't do that. They use more sophisticated techniques, even stuff that the dark web teaches you. But I digress. This is ridiculous. Take a look at this. I want to see date of birth, 1983. Count 1. For intent to transmit a demand for ransom. Did transmit an interstate of foreign commerce. Any communication containing and demanding a request for ransom reward is release of any kidnapped person. Ooh, count 2. Oh my gosh, you in trouble, Derek? Derek, you're in trouble. Breaking news, people are stupid. Brandon, I love that. Brandon, I love it. Have you eaten, Miss Meadows? I did not eat today. No, I did not. Oh, I thought you were Mandy. Mandy, I'm like, where's Mandy at? Where's my little Mandy in the chat? It's called Next Level Retard. Chosen one. I love my chat. I love you all. I love you guys. You guys know I love you, right? I want you to understand. I love my chat. Please don't do this stupid shit. An interstate of foreign communications made a telephone call and utilized a telecommunication device. Oh my gosh. Whether or not conversations or communication news without disclosing his identity and with intent to abuse, threaten, or harass any specific person in violation of Title 47 United States Code 223 AIC in specific section. What did you do? Continued on page 2 on 2 of 3. NG was last seen inside her residence. Okay, so this is the disappearance. We have this information already. Yes, this is all recycled information. We already know. Yeah. Okay, we already know this, guys. On February 4th, shortly after the video was published, AC and TC, the daughter and son-in-law of NG, both separately received a text message. Oh, after that video was published, they received a text message. Following phone number 7602. Oh my God, why is this phone number out in public? They aired his shit out. Oh my God. Both separately received a text message from the following phone numbers. I'm not going to say it. I'm stating, did you get the Bitcoin? We're blank waiting on our end for the transaction. AC and TC received these text messages while in Arizona. That means Annie and you know who, you know. I don't want to put it out there. Wait a minute. Give me a second. No, wait a minute. No. Hold on. No, wait a minute. No. Did you receive the Bitcoin? We're on our end for transactions. Both received these text messages. Okay, so they received the text messages after the video was published. Law enforcement was able to determine through open source methods. It literally is an open source. That 0552 number was associated with a voice over internet protocol. Why would you use this? Text and call applications that allow users to obtain another phone number. You're such an idiot. Like, you thought that using text to call, a third-party app, my guy, your carrier, your phone number is linked inside of there. That app knows who you are. It's gonna know your IP address. You downloaded it. It's on its system. What were you thinking, Derek? Law enforcement submitted an emergency disclosure request for the 0552 number. Based on the records provided for the 0552 number, was registered to the following email address. Derek Calleja. I hope I'm saying that right. I correct me. I think it's Spanish. I'm not too sure. I don't know what it is. The 0552 number was registered to your email. You use your fucking email. Derek, please, can I see your mugshot? Can I see what your face expression is, please? You put your fucking email. The real criminals are fucking laughing at you right now. But you put pain in the family of the Guthrie families. You added more pain because you put hope into them. Oh, they're asking for money and they probably want to give these criminals the money. I hope you go to fucking jail for a decade. Fuck you. Also, you're an idiot. Did I tell you that? The records also indicate that 0552 number has been assessed from the following IP address. Oh my God. At approximately 6:02 p.m. on February the 4th, 2026, law enforcement submitted an emergency disclosure request to the internet provider. So they went to the VO, they submitted an emergency request to the internet provider for the 103 IP address and determined that the 103 IP address was associated to Derek Calleja's residency. Oh my God. Congratulations, the world's dumbest idiot. You played yourself, you coward. After Miranda warning, Calleja, I think that's how you say it. Let's just call him Derek. Derek admitted to sending the 2 text messages. He admitted to using the VoIP account from which 2 actual text messages came from. Derek stated that he pulled family information from a cyber website and that he also been following along and watching TV. when he said that. He sent the text message. He was trying to see if the family would respond. Data received shows that approximately 3 minutes after the text messages, Derek called a family member of the NG of Nancy Guthrie's family, which lasted 9 seconds. The two text messages have not been linked to the February 2nd ransom demand. Ladies and gentlemen, did anyone catch anything about that? I'm going to wait. Let's see who got it in the chat. Let's see who got it in the chat. Remember what I said? We watched that video from that report. I'm not going to hint it out for you. Derek seems dumb. Bethany, you got that right. General Genobi, Daily Mail has that story now. Can you send that over to me? General Genobi, good job, General. Please find and read my text I sent on Discord. Misty, okay, I will look at that in just a second. Nobody got that? I'll wait. If anyone caught it, please let me know. There you go. Someone got it. Someone got it. Yeah, ready? Nope. One person got it. It's what I said earlier. Nobody else got it? Nobody else got it? Nobody else? Come on. The two text messages are not linked to the February 2nd ransom demand. They been had the ransom demand. What did I say? What did I say? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait, ladies and gentlemen. I will wait. I hated school, Nove. I know. So, I hope that the investigators are taking this more serious and how they are treating this. Nancy, as every day goes by, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And it's meeting towards 5 p.m. We are just 4 hours away Mountain Time. 4 hours away, ladies and gentlemen. We are 4 hours away. 4 hours away. If the first demand is not met, I don't know what's going to happen, but they said a second demand. These criminals, they're smart. They know that they're going to wait for the second demand because they want to catch them. They don't want to give them money. In my eyes, I would say, fuck that. Give them money. I know you guys, they're going to go with their protocols. Don't negotiate with terrorists. Don't do this. Let me tell you something. Guys, I know I'm probably on a different side from you guys, but I'm on a whole different level. I believe that an 84-year-old mom with bad conditions, I'll tell the feds, fuck you. I want to give all my money. Please. Respectfully. But I will allow them to do their job. I would say that. I mean, I can't do nothing about that. But I am for them doing their job because they can just because if you give them the money, here is that bad side effect that I was talking about earlier. If you give them the money, they can just do this again. That's going to inspire more criminals. So I am for the feds on actually doing their job. I'm for that. But February 2nd till now, if I expect you to do your job, you have to come up with something because you're playing with my mom's life. I waited to the very end of the first demand deadline time, which is Tuesday, February 5th at 5 p.m. What the fuck did you come up with? Doesn't look like much, is it? Everybody, please do me a favor. If you are brand new to the podcast, I would appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. If you are new, we cover true crime. We're covering the case of Nancy Guthrie and the Guthrie family. And we have been on top of this case. We got notes. We got information. We have been on this. We have been on this. 7 injured after car crash in Westwood grocery store.
A wide.
Oh my gosh, we got breaking news. Oh, I'm never gonna eat. I'm never gonna get rest. Oh my God. Chat, we got breaking news. All right, we're going to conclude this podcast. No one leave. No one leave. No one leave. No one leave. Oh my gosh. No, if I gotta get food. Okay. I need like a fucking assistant at this point. I need an assistant. No one leave. We got breaking news. We got breaking news. Everyone lock in. Everyone lock in. I'm going to wrap this up. Do not leave. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got breaking news. 7 injured after a car crashes into a Westwood grocery store. This is absolutely insane. Everyone locks. You have to set. I recommend no one leave because once you leave, you're not going to get that notification. I used it up already. Everybody, when we get to the podcast, everyone, please hit the like button. I would appreciate that. Hit the like button on the new podcast. We're doing another one. We have breaking news. A car crashes into a grocery store. People were injured. They could be deceased. In Discord, General Genobi, thank you so much. Everyone, I need locks. Everyone, when you join the new live, again, I'm going to say it again. When you join the new live, share that out. Like it. This is breaking news. Breaking news. Subscribers mode automatically turning on that podcast. So if you're not subscribed, you won't be able to interact. So that's why I always tell people subscribe, like. You'll be able to talk in the comments. You can share, you can interact and do more things. Like, subscribe on the new podcast. All right. Oh my God, this is bad news. 2 deceased. I'm seeing people saying 2 deceased. Oh no. 2 deceased. Unfucking believable. I gotta get water or something. Oh, I do. Okay, everyone, get ready. If you don't see nothing that turns up in your feed in 1 minute, check my YouTube channel, okay? All right. Let me lock in real quick. Don't go anywhere. If you don't see nothing pop on your screen in 1 minute, check the profile. I'm live. All right. See you guys in a few. When you get into that podcast, like, share, beam that up, Scotty. I depend on you guys. But also, thank you guys for watching this segment.